Most of the talk on social media this week has been about American reality TV star Kylie Jenner, part of the Kardashian clan. She appeared on the cover of Forbes magazine with her company, Kylie Cosmetics, valued at more than $800, and I believe it's actually $900 million. Jenner's success has been attributed to her fame and her ability to leverage social media. Now, this morning we talk about the power of social media.
I'm not a fashion blog. I don't have a blog. So Instagram is literally like my blog. So I'm actually a fashion stylist, personal shopper, and wardrobe organizer. I have a company called 1212. And from how I was dressing on social media, I became a brand influencer and brands approached me. So I've been pushing brands for the last 5 years now.
And now people are watching and saying, and how do you make money off that?
Well, brands view the interaction that people have on your page, and then they're like, oh cool, we have this product, we have this brand, can you please create content and then post it? It must look as authentic as possible, and then you get a check.
Now you see, that for me is the question, and I'm going to bring our other guest, Tebogo, in here in Durban. Tebogo, Tsepi made a very important point there. She said brands approach her and they say, make content for us, put this post up and make it look as authentic as possible. Now, surely, if you're needing to tell somebody to make something look as authentic as possible, it's not authentic, is it? What exactly are these brands looking for?
Well, it depends on how you communicate what they said should be authentic. So what brands are looking for is essentially a voice that is going to give them credibility. And that's the difference between advertising and public relations, in that advertising is saying that, you know, I'm handsome and charming. With public relations is if someone else says, well, Tebogo is handsome and charming. And so it has more credibility because it comes from a third party. So when they ask you to post something, they're trying to get PR from you because PR has that much more credibility.
Now, going back to the article we spoke about earlier, that Forbes article on Kylie Jenner, they say here, quote, what her half-sister Kim Kardashian West did for booty, that's a direct quote, Jenner has done for full lips. Now, everybody knows that her lips particularly are not real, but she's managed to turn it into almost $1 billion industry, mainly based on her first product, which was, I think, lip gloss, I think it was. You see, I've done my research. So what about the Kardashian brand then? If you're talking about authenticity, then speaks to what you've just said about people wanting things to look authentic so that people feel attracted to them and are taken in by them.
Well, what happened with Kylie Jenner is that she has been standing on the shoulders of the Kardashians who came before her. So she's been on the program for about 10 years, and the Kardashian brand has been built over a long time. Even before Kim Kardashian became famous, you know, the Kardashian family already had a space in the legal fraternity. And so it was something that has already been built over many years, and she just managed to carve her own way and build a massive audience. I mean, she has more than 111 million followers on Instagram. She has more than 20 million followers on Twitter, and she is using now that platform in order to break into various industries. Now, even though she may have fake lips, I'm not sure if it's fake lips, maybe they are enhanced.
No, they definitely
you will find that there are a lot of young people who look up to her, and that is why it is you know, likely for her to sell a lot of product, especially lipstick, you know, to those young people in that industry, which is a more than 7 trillion rand industry globally.
Okay, now, Tsepi, in that article, Kylie is quoted as saying, social media is an amazing platform. I have such easy access to my fans and my customers. Now, it sounds so simple, but is that the key? You build up this huge following, and then they become people that you can directly speak to and, for your clients, directly punt their products to.
I do believe that, but there's also stalkers, like people that creep your timeline also. So that's where brands also look at, what's the word? Is it interaction? I've forgotten the word now.
Or engagement.
Engagement.
Yes.
So people will always look at your page because now there's Explorer page on Instagram, so your post, depending on the likes, will come up. But also the thing about social media is that there are mean people, so you have to be very aware and like you have to be so sure of yourself, of like what you're posting, be like, I know I'm this person, I will not listen to what these people are saying about me, and that's like one of the dangers of social media.
Okay, we've got loads more to talk about. We need to take the break, and after that we'll continue our fascinating conversation around the role and the rise of social media influencers in South Africa and abroad.
Want to change tomorrow today? With total estimated jackpots over 75 million rand across all lotto games this Saturday, you can make that a reality. Buy your tickets now. Panda, Pusha, play.
Rand cost averaging. How to grow your investment in a volatile market. On Money Matters.
Welcome back. Let's continue our discussion on the power of social media and influence. We're joined in Durban by the CEO of Tshego Media, Tebogo Tshego, and Tshepi Vundla, social media influencer and businesswoman in her own right. We thank you again for your time. Let's move the focus now away from the Kylie Jenners and the Kardashians of the world, and let's talk about this industry, because that is what it is now in South Africa. Now, Tebogo, the rise of the social media influencer, how big is this in the space of PR and marketing in South Africa?
Well, it's very difficult to quantify how massive it is, but it has been one of the great disruptors of PR and marketing over the past 10 years. And it has changed the game totally because, I mean, even from personal experience, you know, as a PR company, we are now able, you know, to compete for these big clients because social media has only come in, you know, over the past 15 years. We are able now to say that we have enough experience to compete with the best. Now, in terms of the monetary aspect of social media, what it has done, it has enabled people to quantify the amount of support that they have. So before social media, it would be difficult for a celebrity or for a brand to say that this is my reach. But now social media has brought in the numbers that you can say, I have this amount of following and they are segmented in this audience. And it even gives you an idea of the interests of that audience. So you are now able to associate your brand more accurately to other brands that are running parallel with yours and your objectives.
Now, Tshepi, when you speak to companies that you go and speak to about what you could do for their brand, leveraging your social media platforms, what is it about the particular grouping of people that follows you that you think interests them?
Firstly, I've never actually approached a brand and told them this is what I can do
No,
for you
but
guys,
okay, let's turn it around. Do they approach you and then you speak to them?
Firstly, I look at the brand and then I'm like, would I buy this item if I was not getting paid for it? Because that's very important, because now my own personal brand is associated with this brand. So it's very important. It's like, okay, cool, does Tshepi wear this? Would Tshepi, you know? So that's very important for me. That's why I say I try to be as authentic as possible. Like I'm 100% authentic. So it's very important for me. Like I've said no, because I know like I would not associate myself with this thing. So that's very important.
Who are the people that are following you?
I think it's young girls in varsity, but like it's changed since I've had a baby. So like I was the party girl which was fun.
Okay.
So I had the alcoholic brands approaching me and everything, which was a side, and now I'm like associated with the whiskey. So now I've like matured because I have had a baby. So like now
And then
it's
all the mommy products
yeah,
and that kind of thing
so
as
it was
well.
from party girl to being a mom. So
Do you, now that you've moved into that space, is there a part of your life that you don't feel comfortable showing on social media as part of the business side of what you do with your social media platforms?
I show everything, which is weird. Like, we tried to hide our baby for the longest time, but because cabin fever was having me and I was not posting anything on social media, and that was my life, posting everything. So then my partner and I decided, like, okay, we're just going to post them, and then brands started approaching us with, like, all baby products. So it's
So now the followers who followed you when you were still in your student life and you were the party girl on social media, as one is at that stage in your life, are you finding that they have evolved with you into this stage of your life, or have some of them left you and started following somebody else?
I still think I still have the same followers, but now they want to see my son more. They're like, oh, you're such a cute mom. It's so great seeing you mature and grow up and everything. So it hasn't changed that much yet.
Now, Tebogo, a fascinating case study here using Tshepi's experience. I'm quite interested in figuring out whether the kind of content that Tshepi is putting out there, she's just giving people an insight into her day-to-day life. But there are also people in the social media space who very strategically go about putting together content to show a particular kind of lifestyle that they believe their followers want to see, and that would be more appealing to brands or businesses that perhaps want to engage them from a financial point of view. Which to you do you feel makes better business sense in terms of social media influencers?
Well, in terms of anything, including social media, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you need to understand what does your brand stand for before you can even start communicating on social media. Once you understand what your brand stands for, you can then go into the audience and study the audience and find out what are they interested in, because it cannot be just about your brand. It also has to be about the people that you are talking to, and it must appeal to them. And this is something that is forever changing. Sometimes you would want to align your messaging to something that is happening in the world or something that is trending, and seeing, what are the common threads, that you can latch onto in order to increase your audience. And what I mean by that practically is that you could have a hashtag that is trending, that is aligned to something that you want to talk about, and it could help you. But with a beauty product, you can take, Tshepi's example and just speak about what you're doing on a daily basis. You take a selfie, you post it, and people will be asking you, what makeup are you wearing? What eyelashes are you wearing? What lipstick are you wearing? And from there, you could perhaps see brands that sell those products approach you to say that we would like you to sell our brand.
How do you go about putting a value to a social media influencer? Is it the number of followers that you have, or is it more to do with quality, the type of follower that you have?
Well, in terms of becoming a social media influencer, I think firstly, you need to communicate exactly what it is that your brand is about. So people will align with you. Let's say you're in business, or you're somebody who is into more the lifestyle kind of thing. People will buy into your vision if you are inspiring, if you're passionate about it, and if you have content that can be used by the audience. And they will latch onto you and say, you know what, if we're looking for a role model in business, somebody whose values are aligned to ours, someone who has a good reputation and a large following, these are the people we could consider. And from there, I think that it will happen organically, but I don't think it is something that should be forced. Do not try to be something that you are not on social media, because that could impact on your credibility.
Authenticity seems to be the watchword. We're going to have to leave it there for now. That was the CEO of Ditshego Media, Tebogo Ditshego, joining us from Durban. And in the studio, the lovely brand influencer, businesswoman, stylist, and social media influencer, Tshepi Vundla, who joined us today. We thank you so much